Chill in the morning. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about. Hey, I'm trying to do my intro here. It's all about getting out and riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars, and the voice behind the mic. And it's chilling in the rig. I'm doing this voiceover right now. And I forgot to get my jacket. It's cold. It's just like when I was riding out there cold. All right, folks, what we got going on today? We're in Spangler, still on our Thanksgiving desert trip. This was, I think, the third day we're out here in the morning. It was no wind out here today, and it started to sprinkle a little bit on me. And it's got about a 3-hour ride in today. Pretty good. Goal for today is we're going to the tallest peak out here in Spangler. Mentioned that in the last video, and we're gonna do the tallest one today. I haven't been out to it, so the last peak I had done a couple months ago, so this one I have not done. And I don't know if there's a trail out there on my way out. I'm just assuming that there probably is, or there's one close enough to the peak, and then I'll just have to hardcore enduro my way up to the top. And that's exactly what happened. So I looked on the map through my Onyx off. Oh, watch out for that rock. Man, I'm having a rough start today. I was on the way out here, just kind of bounced around all over the place. Pretty rocky. Aiming for the rocks. I'll do that in a little bit. There's a big old rock in the middle of the trail. And
Watch out for the rocks.
yeah, watch out for those rocks. There's one coming up, and I'm heading straight for it. And I catch myself staring at the rock, and the last minute I, zig out of the way, and it's coming up here. Just funny, you can get focused and you locked in. I'm trying to keep my gaze up, but sometimes, when you got a big obstacle, you just lock into that obstacle and you steer straight into it. So it's coming up this little climb right here. You see the big old rock. I mean, there it is, big rock right in the way. That's the last minute, do a little.
What are you doing, man?
I know, what am I doing? Get your head in the game, man. All right, we're gonna come up here, cresting this hill, and you get a look at the big peak we're going to. And you'll see the one that I did yesterday. So I'm gonna come up here, and I think I'm pouring it out. Yeah. There we go. Pouring it out there, Georgie. We're waiting.
Oh boy, over there, we did that one to the right.
That was yesterday.
Now we're going for the big one to the left.
Yeah, the one on the right looked taller, but that's just because it's closer. But the one in the middle there, that is...
And in between, there's some big canyons.
Yeah, big canyons in me, but that one in the middle is the taller one. Not much taller. I think it's like 150 feet or so taller than the other peak. So they're both pretty high up there. Got a nice chundery downhill. Look at all this chunder going on. Finding the chunder out on Spangler. Riding solo today. Cortland is not riding with me. He rode with me the other day up to the other peak. But I wanted to get some harder training, and there's some really rocky canyons on each side of these big peaks up here that are very much like what King Lamoto is going to have.
Rocky.
Hey, it's rocky. And you're going to see that after the peak, we'll go down into one of those canyons, and we'll come up another one. Very rocky. A lot of fun getting through it. And it's the one I'm going down, man. That is one you have to go up. So if that was King of the Motos, I go down it, we'd be going up it. But I wouldn't go up it solo. Actually, I'd try it solo. I can take that back. I would try it solo, but I'd rather have a buddy with me going up, just because there's a couple points I think I might need someone to help me push the bike or pull the bike, because there was some pretty gnarly little step ups to it, or step down. I'm going down, so step down, so you're coming up, it'd be a whole. It'd be fun. I'd like to try going up.
What are these things?
Yeah, there's a bunch of these things out here. They're cement with asphalt on top.
The pad.
Big old pad with the wooden block there. I don't know what it is.
What if these are all mine shafts that they filled in?
Yeah, I don't know if they got some kind of quota they come out, because there's a ton of mine shafts that are just, they got little fences. There's a big old hole in it. I mean, they go way down in there. You can't even walk over to the edge, because if it fell in or something, I don't want to fall in that hole. It just goes down, I don't know, 50, 60 feet. I don't know, it just keeps on going. So I don't know if they started filling them in, but it seems like they could just throw some rocks in there. Why they put the cement pad in there? It doesn't. I don't know what that is. If you guys know what that is, I'd like to know. Look at this nice little climb right here. Yeah, get after it there, Georgie. This was a fun ride today. little over 3 hours, nice and cool. It started sprinkling a little bit, but had to cut the ride a little bit short. Had a little clutch trouble. My clutch cable, I got the Magura hydraulic clutch, and the way I've routed the cable, I have a little thing to tie the cable down so it's not all flapping around. And I did some engine work last week, and I forgot to put a new zip tie on the cable. Anyways, when I dumped the bike over, I'm doing some hill climbs, and when I dumped the bike over, that cable rubs on my exhaust pipe and just melts through, and all my hydraulic fluid just goes everywhere. And I'm at the top of this hill, and my clutch totally goes out. I have no clutch at all, which luckily I just had to turn around and go downhill. It was pretty steep hill, but not a big problem. And then I just babied it back all the way back to camp there. It's such a weird feeling riding without a clutch. Man, it is. It's like riding with no front brake. It just feels scary. It feels very strange. I didn't want to dump, I couldn't risk stalling out the bike anywhere because I can't pull the clutch. Like I'd have to, I guess, throw it neutral, but if I was at the bottom of a pit or something, I'd be stuck. So I just made it back home. But until that point, I was going pretty good. All right, we're working our way over. So this farthest peak, if you guys come up here, it's just on the north side of Spangler. So if you guys want to come up here, I got my cash can in my bag. I've set one on the other peak, so we got one for this peak too. And it's just the tallest peak out here. So if you do a topo map or something like that, like Onyx has a topo map, you can go to Google Earth or whatever. But it's really nice because it shows you the elevations and how steep the climbs are, and you can get a really good idea of the type of terrain, at least the elevation climb that you're going to get before you get to it. So I use that app and that feature quite a bit.
Back tire didn't like that rock back there.
Yeah, it hit pretty hard. Now I'm not running, as I mentioned last video, I'm just running a full noose. I'm not running a drilled out noose.
I don't know if there's a trail up there, so.
Yeah, I don't know if there is. I'm
What I'm trying to do is get this ridge line to the left.
Yeah, well, I know there's one that gets close to it. I don't know if there's one that goes
steeper.
all the way to the top. But yeah, my back tires at Shinko 525 Cheater. It's a great tire for the desert. It's a little bit softer compound. It's got big knobs on it, so it's good for the climbing. And it really grabs a lot. But the Moose, when you start getting this real more technical riding, that softer Moose really helps flatten that tire, and it just gets so much more traction. Whereas the stiffer Moose, it doesn't, what can I say? It makes the tire more susceptible to digging in. Like if you're taking your truck out to the dunes and you start digging into the sand, you air down your tire, make it flat, wide, and it spreads out the weight. So you got more weight distribution throughout the tire, and it's less prone to just digging a hole in the sand. So the same idea goes with the rear tire here. When you're going slow and you don't have momentum helping you, you want that weight of that tire as fat as possible, and it helps prevent it from digging in as much. Of course, controlling your throttle, not just whiskey throttling out and digging a big hole, that also helps tremendously. Nice little whoops. Look at these big old whoops here. So I got my suspension clicker's really soft right now. So I would not run this on a fast race. So my Sprint Enduro Hare and Hounds, I was stiffing up my suspension quite a bit. But because I know I'm going to do some rocky canyon climbing through here, I softened her up quite a bit, which is a big difference. I can totally tell the difference between my clickers in and clickers out. So I think I have my suspension almost dialed in where I want it. I probably should go through the forks again and put some fresh fluid in there for this next season. I'm sure most of you guys change out your fluid more than once a year. If I blow out a seal, sometimes I had a nick in my forks last year, and the seals wouldn't last very long because that little nick in the tubes. And I finally bought some new tubes, put them in there, and my seals have been lasting. I haven't had the seal blow out yet, but I think I need to put some new fluid in there. All right, I got a nice little climb going on. Let's go, Trixie. now I'm on the main ridge line. We're going up the main ridge up to the peak, and there's this trail here. And it looks like it's pretty worn in. So you see, now we're up on this ridge line. Really rocky through here. Just carry your momentum, keep your balance. Wasn't too hard. Yeah, I think most of you guys could do this. This is a very doable trail. Even the top. So this peak here, not as hard as the other peak. Even though there still was no trail, it's just the climb was not as steep. And I don't know why people haven't gone up to the top. To me, I instantly want to go there. It seems like I know there's other crazy people like me that they just want to go as high as they can get. You know, they're really testing themselves out. There's a peak straight on ahead.
Looks like there's a trail going all the way.
Yeah, it looks like there's a trail, but it's not. It's just that you got a really rocky center there, and it just right behind it's where the wind's kind of blowing over the sand. So it looks like a trail, but it's actually not a trail. A trail that I'm on, when we get down to the saddle here, it goes off to the left. And let me tell you, I'm gonna go that way. We're gonna get to that peak first, but then we're gonna go off to the left here, down that canyon, all the way down to the left there, about 10 o'clock. It is really steep, big downhill, and that canyon is gnarly. All right, so we're getting down here. Trail goes left. But don't go left here. We want to get up to that peak. I was thinking maybe it wraps around. But I'm like, I'd rather go here. This looks better. Yeah, stay up on the ridge line. So here we go. Tallest peak in Spangler. Let's go. So there is no trail that I saw here, so I'm just gonna blaze my own trail going on up it. Nice chunky rocks. So you got that main kind of rocky ridge line right to the right of me, and what I'm guessing is, you know, the wind's blowing over here, and it's making this backside just a little bit more sandy, so you're able to pick your way through. And I'm trying to stay as high next to the ridge as I can. I don't want to get down to the left and then have to work my way up. You know, I want to stay as high as possible. I make that pivot. I love this kind of trail. There's one out in Reno. There's a place north of Reno called Moon Rocks, and there's a peak up there called Dogskin Peak. And the same kind of deal, that where the trail goes beneath the peak. There's actually no trail to the peak, but it looks very doable. I would like to do that one. So that's on the list, Dogskin Peak up north of Reno. We're gonna get her done. Maybe next year. Oh, look at that left hip turn, folks. Getting a little bit chunkier rocks up here. We're getting close to that peak. Whenever you get close to the peak, the rocks get chunkier. They get bigger. I'm picking my lines through here, and I could go left right there. It would have been a little around. I mean, I didn't know at the time. When I came down, I went left. It was easier. Right here, I'm going to go straight up, give it a little rock back. And I know I got to aim with the rear, so I'm trying to get that rear tire as high as possible over that first little rock ledge. So that's what I do there. So that rear tire's up and over. Now I just got to pivot left. And I could try to 511 it, but I got where I wanted to go with the rear. So I'm just going to pivot that front tire over. Yeah. This is pretty easy. This would have been a fun one to time it. Like, you start at the bottom there, you have like a little, I'll put a little rock. You know, I'm thinking about future rides where I want to have it timed. So start the rock, and you're gonna time yourself up to the top. And then when you log in, you're not just like, hey, I was here. You're gonna say, hey, I was here and I did it in 4 minutes or something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So I'm trying to see if there's the highest place I could park the bike. All right, yeah, right, pivot a little bit higher, y'all. Let's do it. right about right here. There was one like that little ledge right up there, but I'm gonna call this good. So this is the top. Burning some bushes there. I don't know if you noticed, if you look, my hydraulic cable was there. Wasn't hitting the exhaust pipe at this point in time, but it does later when I'm doing some hill climbing and lay it over on the other side. All right, we're at the top of this peak. And there's a cash can. Yep, there it is right there. Now, last time someone was here was 2020, so it's been 4 years.
Taller than you.
Yeah, this was
Funny,
the top.
they got the elevation on that one.
Yeah, I was looking for an elevation stamp. It's just weird they didn't pick the tallest peak.
Stamped.
And there might have been one. I looked everywhere. I didn't see a stamp. I even went down about 100 feet. There's another little peak too. It's a little bit lower, and there was no stamp there either.
You see where we parked?
Yeah,
that's our rig right over there. I can see him.
Yeah, it's wagon and wheel right way out there in the distance.
Not too bad. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Nah, there's no wind up here. Nice and quiet. It's like a little
I'll
throne.
sign that one. I'm gonna throw my own in here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Not that.
All right, when I'm climbing down, I'm always worried I'm gonna trip on a rock and just tumble down the rocks. It's scarier going down the rocks than it is walking than it is riding the bike down.
Girl. There it is. Top. Of top of Spangler.
Yeah, top of Spangler.
What did I say, 36?
I was looking up. It's like 3586 or something. 3590.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on the inside. Should have done that with the last one.
Yeah, I should have done the last one. So I put an example of what to do with the stickers up here. Good. If I can get the can back together. Oh yeah, and I got some extra stickers.
A bunch more.
Yeah.
Front-end book.
Now it's a 30 caliber ammo can right there. It's pretty big. And it's nice because that Gatorade fits right inside of it. So when I go,
saying, it should be I'll think of it later.
Yeah, I should have thought of it.
George.
Need to think of something clever.
Guy
behind the bars. But it fits that Gatorade in there. I usually travel 3-liter pack plus the Gatorade plus the water. Especially if I know I'm gonna be out for several hours. It's nice to have extra stuff. Those ammo cans are watertight, and they'll probably last a million years. So, all right, now I gotta put it in a nice hidden spot.
Let's see what this one is.
Everyone's gonna find that one, and then mine will be the hidden one. No one will know what's there.
2020. And no one's been here in 4 years.
I'm surprised by that, you know? 4 years, no one's been out here.
There you go.
All right, it's a secret stash and secret spot.
And just like that, I forgot to turn the camera.
Yeah, I went back down and totally forgot.
But downhill's always easier.
Yeah, I forgot to turn on the camera.
Right, we're gonna go around. Decided not to go down from up there.
Yeah, what I was talking about is keep continuing down the backside of the ridge.
I don't want to get myself in a bad spot.
It was doable, but there's no trail there, and I'm glad I came this way. This is really cool. This is a very long downhill into this canyon here, and very rocky. I like to try to go up this. It might be impossible, but I like to go up this. It'd be a good challenge. But that backside, to get to that peak, I think you could find a route and just keep going along that ridge and go all the way down the backside, so you'd have a continuous trail right up the peak and on over. Yeah, that'd be tough. It is not gonna be easy climb. Maybe go down that and then come back up this or something. I don't know. You gotta be nuts to like this kind of stuff. It gets hard, folks. It's scary. Looking down, I do have oil leaking out, so I did a valve check and I had to loosen my chain tensioner there. And they have these little brass washers, and I just reused them. And I think I need to get new brass washers. So left side of the engine there has some oil leaking out it, and I can smell it a little bit. All right, we get to this sandy wash down here, and you can go left or right. You gotta choose wisely, because one way is easy and the other way is hard.
All right, left or right?
Let's go the hard way. Let's go right. Yeah. All right, get ready, folks. This is gonna get good. I'd give this about an 8 level of difficulty coming up here. Going down. And at King of the Motos, hard and dull, you'll probably be going up this kind of stuff. Only go down and up it. So this would be a good practice. Come back here and go up this. That would be a good ride. That might take a little long. Going down, you got gravity helping you, of course, but going up, you know, got the real sandy rocks rolling on you. And with this tire setup I have right now, probably not the best to go up this, but going down, I have no problem going down it. Now there was some tracks going here, old tracks, so I know someone's come this way. There is a trail. But you can tell not a lot of people are using it. Coming up pretty big little step down here. And I'm trying to think, you know, am I going to get over my head?
Alright, this is good.
Yeah, this is good. All right, I'm like, all right, I can do this. You got to stay confident. Whenever you are riding, especially hard enduro, you got to keep your confidence up because you don't want to get psyched out and then you start doing poorly. Because a lot of times, the bike can do it. You got to have the confidence to make the bike do it. And so you got to stay positive. You got to talk to yourself, laugh about things so that you don't psych yourself out and make big mistakes or make mistakes even when you shouldn't. You know, like I said, the bike will do it. You can see the trail goes up to the left right there. That was a steep little one. Now I'm all patterned up. I think we were talking about this with Dan and Cortland and Kevin, just how much protective gear do you put on when you ride, and especially terrain like this where you just got big jagged rocks everywhere. I got as much padding as I can put anywhere in my body, that way if I tumble over here, you know, I don't get hurt too bad. Little engine off, it's steep. Just staying in control of the bike. Doing a lot of grunting. I just roll down another real steep. The camera doesn't show you how big these little step downs are, and you're already going steep downhill, and then you got a step down. That bike, yeah, that bike's almost tipping over, but she doesn't.
Woo! Gnarly, folks.
Yeah, see, I think you can go up that. Telling you folks, you can go up this. This would be fun going up it. I'd like to do it going the opposite direction. I'd have a different tire setup. I'd get my JX8. JX8 would do really good on this frame right here. It's got a little bit taller knob, but a lot softer than the VE33S. The VE33S is a little bit softer than this 525. It's got the big knobs. It definitely does the hill climbing, but with this amount of rocks and stuff like that, you really need a softer compound. That JX8 really soft. And I've ordered a 140, but they're not in yet. There's a big back order on those 140 JX8s. But when that comes in, that's gonna be a perfect tire for this type of trail. Going up, going down. I mean, you can almost have any tire going down because gravity's gonna pull you one way or the other. But I can't wait, folks. When that 140 JX8 comes in, I'm gonna throw that sucker on, and we're gonna have some good hard mountain climbing through these canyons. This is gonna be great.
Don't want to go over the bars and those rocks right there.
Yeah, just playing a little safe right now. Get off the bike.
Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah. When you ride solo and just ride in general, it's better to be safe than sorry. There ain't no phone service out here. Now I ride with my Garmin InReach Mini, and so if I am in trouble, I can just ping that out and send an SOS. I can, or send a text to my wife and let her know where I am. But you get down these big old canyons like this, there is no cell phone service out here. All right, we're almost through this canyon. When we get on through here, we're gonna go all the way around, and we're gonna head up another canyon, Rocky Canyon Peak, and do some nice King of the Motos training, going up through Rocky Canyons. If you guys watched that King of the Motos race last year, you know what I'm talking about. It is rocks and trails just like this, going up and down them. Come on, wiggle on over. Gotta do the wiggle. Wiggle that front tire over in that chute. Straight on down, let it roll down. Yeah. Now it felt pretty good, and looking back at the video here, I know it could have gotten up this. This would be good. Vince, Cole, if you guys are watching, this is good training out here. Come on down. We'll give it a go. So the rest of the way down from here is about this level. You just gotta kind of zig and zag, kind of dodge these big rocks, but no big obstacles. Get over here, so very doable from here on out. So let's just cut out the rest of this, and we'll head on over to the next canyon. We're ready for it. I was feeling very confident at this point. It's all right. We're revving on up, going up the next canyon over. It might have been 2 canyons over. Maybe 3, I don't know, I'd have to look on the map. Just over several canyons.
Yeah.
All right, this looks good right up in here. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Back end gets slid out by a rock. You see where that back end slid over? All right, after all that downhill, you gotta like switch gears. Now we're going uphill. You think differently, all right? Look at the big old rock ledge. Where am I gonna go? I'm gonna go left. It's almost a steep face right there. And it's almost straight up. And I'm gonna have to hit that pivot to the right. Just like that. All right, let's give it a second go. There was another rock. Pivot up to the right. Look at that, folks. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. This kind of canyon climbing is just so much fun. So many different lines you can take. Big waterfall up there to the left. I'm gonna come out right here. Get that rear tire up, pivot on left. Remember, you always want to aim with the rear tire. Get that rear tire as high up. You want to get that rear tire on whatever line you're going to cut over on. Because if you think you're just going to get the front tire on and then push it up, yeah, that's not happening, or you're just going to burn so much energy trying to get up to that level. Alright, I'm looking for a line. I'm going to sneak between those 2 rocks right there. Now when I do these rock backs, because it's real sandy here, I want to give it a little rock forward and backwards, just so I can get a little bit of a running start. And you can't just drop the clutch, because you dig a hole. So you got to roll that clutch on, roll that power on, so that she doesn't just dig a hole instantly. Big old nice chunky rocks. I love going uphill. This is fun. You definitely have to work harder going uphill. Downhill, like I said, the gravity does most of the work. And you just got to figure a way not to go over the handlebars. When you're going uphill, you got to figure out a way how to get that rear tire up to wherever you're going. And here's where that soft suspension just really helps out so much. So when you guys are doing your fast desert racing, you know, you got to have that stiff suspension. Right here, you're only going, you know, a couple miles an hour. So you want that suspension to be as soft as possible. It really helps absorb a lot of these little bumps in the rock. And helps so much keeping traction down on the ground. Little sandy climb right there. All right, let's pivot on, or let's get on left, get back in that creek. I don't want to get too easy. I want to stay in the creek. Got to find that hard stuff and stay in it. When it comes to hard enduro races, there ain't gonna be the easy way out. It's gonna be the hard way or the harder way. So you gotta try to make it as hard as you can, within reason. You know, carry that momentum. Don't want to lose momentum like that. Just flame out and kill your whole momentum. Kill your game. Come on, Trixie. Trixie did it really good though. She climbed this. She was a beast. Just kept on climbing up. It's kind of easy here at the end. That's a lot of fun. See, going uphill, this wasn't as hard as that one I just went down, but I think I could have done it. You know, is it at that confidence? You know, when you're riding, you get that confidence. You start feeling like you can just take anything on. I'm like, bring it on. I'm gonna do it right now. Yeah, famous last words. All right, come down here. Turn up, you guys. Got stinging eyeball sweat.
Stinging eyeball.
My sweat burns.
Eyeball sweat.
I know it burns my eyes. I don't know. I don't think that's normal. Your sweat isn't supposed to burn your eyeballs. It does this on races, and I have to close my eyes. I've done it several times. I've been racing. That sweat gets in there, and I close my eyes. I'm like riding with my eyes closed. It's like it stings. I don't know what is my body's pH off or something. I don't know what's going on. My stinging eyeball sweat. Might be from the soap, like from the. I do wash my helmet out, and sometimes maybe it's the detergent. Maybe it's not all out of the little band there. You know, maybe I should rinse it out with water and make sure all that soap's out of there. All right, this little ridge line. I found these pile of rocks. What is that all about? It's probably maybe a grave right there. A pile of rocks. Search that little peak. You know, there's a bunch of these little peaks out here. And I was seeing if there was a cash can on one of them, but there wasn't. So I'm just kind of cross-countrying over. No trail right here. Just see how chunky rock it is. This is all good training though, just kind of picking your way through. There should be a trail here. There is one now because I made it. Keep your balance up. I'm up on the pegs, letting the bike kind of bounce around underneath me. The rocks are giving away a little bit. They slide a little bit, but it's all good. You know, you get that balance on the bike, and the bike can be moving underneath you and sliding all around, and it just feels normal. I don't know. Your body can anticipate how it's going to move. All right. Tired of going downhill. I'm going to side hill over here, and then look what I find. And of all things, I'm gonna find an old trail. Look at that. Here it is. Old trail. No one's been on this trail since Issue the Indian was out here walking around. This is probably an old Indian trail. That's how old this trail is. Some old timer in his old XR 400, maybe a CR 500 is probably making this trail out here. I'm thinking, I don't know why a Honda makes me think of an old bike. Hondas aren't old. There's some pretty nice Hondas there, but those CR 500s, a legend back in the day. Now we're gonna get back in the sandy wash. We're gonna hit some whoops. Gotta warm up those thighs. Those legs just been sleeping, going through all this slow stuff. So we gotta get that blood pumping. Yeah. There ain't no better leg workout than 20 miles of whoops. I'm telling you, people want to do that Baja 1000. I'm like, this is it. That's 1,000 miles of this. I'm like, oh. Those guys are nuts doing that. I think they just ran that race too. I think it's over. All right, let's get out of these whoops. Get back onto some single track. Right here, this looks like a little trail. Good one to go up. Always looking for like the trail least traveled. Nice and rocky, nice and chunky. Getting that chunder. aiming. Trixie's just always aiming for those big old rocks. I'm telling you, she loves to touch them. Just want to reach out and touch the big rock, George. That's what she wants to do. All right, off to the right. You see it about 1 o'clock there high. There's a sandy trail. Sandy hill climb coming up, y'all. That's a beast. That's a pretty big climb there. It's not the steepest climb, but it's just very long. And it's very sandy. And it's rock at the top. So I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, let's try it out.
Yeah, let's try it out. That's what I'm talking about. So when I do hill climbs, I like to get in third gear if I can and get as much momentum going, especially these big sandy hill climbs. You need the speed. The horsepower just isn't enough. You need that speed. So here we go, third gear. Got to keep the balance. Doing good so far. We get up here, and then I need to shift to second, and I don't do it quick enough, and you're getting to hear it bogged down. Right there. Look at this. And then I lose it. As soon as it bogs down, I lose momentum. And even if I go into second, I just can't ever get that momentum, you know, the speed to keep on going up. Now, I am getting a little blow by from the piston, so I'm losing a little bit of power. I need to get the new piston rings in there so that she can get maximum power out of here, and I think she'd do this climb up. Just a little bit of blow by. She still runs pretty solid, but I don't think she's getting all the horses that she's supposed to be doing right now. All right, we ski on down to the bottom. We're gonna hit this again. And come on, Trixie, let's do it. Let's get to the top, girl. Here we go. We are third gear. Pretty much open throttle right now. See if I can get that shift into second a little bit cleaner. There, I shifted, but I need to be on the throttle there. And it's steep at this point. You can see how it's starting to get chunky rock everywhere.
I made the same exact point.
Yeah, same spot. Even though I felt better. I got the same exact spot. That first run, you know, the dirt's just a little bit harder packed. And now that I've gotten up it, now I've loosened it all up. So now it just makes each little run a little bit harder than that first run. But let's go. Come on, give it the beans. Twist the throttle, Georgie. Let's go. Now she's going quick. No, lost my balance. That cost me. All right, get a nice shift to second. Still keep it on the gas. Those rocks are just moving too much. I need more speed. It's hard. These are big hill climbs here.
The same.
Yeah, you got a little bit higher. All right, at this point, I'm gonna side hill over. So I'm close to the top. I'm almost close enough that I can zigzag my way over. And this is good practice here. If you go to Silver Kings, even Donner had that big climb at Donner 2 years ago, but Silver Kings would have big climbs like this, and then you gotta start the switchbacks. So doing some side, this is good practice. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep a steady throttle, steady roll. I don't want that rear tire dropping out on me. I'm just trying to keep it a little bit of climb. And if I just go straight, I'm not always gaining altitude. I'm trying to pick a line here that can gain a little bit of momentum. Just keep a steady kind of roll across. Wait in the outside peg.
Going down.
I'm going down. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna make this. But big rock, I want to go up to the right here. And I am making it, so I am higher now than I was when I started, so that's a good sign. And you can see it starts to flatten up. You can see even the GoPro warps the screen a little bit. It is a little bit flatter over here, so I'm doing good. Waiting the outside peg. I'm keeping that rear tire just rolling. I mean, I'm not perfect at this, folks. It takes a lot of practice. The pros even struggle at this, so you're trying to keep that rear tire from dropping out, you know, controlling your throttle, the wheel spin with your clutch. Even though the engine's revving, I'm controlling it with the clutch. So I'm trying to keep that wheel spin as low as possible. This is good. I'm glad I did this, you know. You wouldn't do this normally. Normally you just go back down, you don't make the hill climb, and then you move on. You're like, all right, next hill climb. But you got to force yourself to do this hard stuff. Like, this is good training here because you're going to do this in a race. And this is a very valuable skill to have. See that rock back and forth? I'll never forget seeing Graham Jarvis do that at Erzberg. He's doing, I forget, one of the runs there, and he rocked forward and backwards, kind of packing that dirt in and getting the timing of dropping the clutch. Oh, I knocked that rock right in front of me. Get out of here, rock. It's all right to move rocks. That's legal. All right, first switchback. Look at that. We're doing these rocky climbs. You're doing a lot of looking around, trying to make sure your rear tire isn't gonna get kicked out by a rock. And coming up, making another switchback here. We're making progress, y'all. This is looking good. Good job, Georgie. Come on over, starts to climb up. Really rocky here, so I know she's gonna get better traction. Just got a little bit to go to get up to this top of this ridge line here. Gonna rock back and forth. Starting to dig a hole. I'm like, oh no, don't dig a hole. There's a rock right in front of me. I'm like, all right, let's do a 511 here. Wait back, wait forward, drop the clutch. Yeah. We are up to the top of this ridge here. Very rocky to the right, but we can go on around. But then I got bike trouble coming up. I'm just checking. Fan's blowing. I know she's hot, but she ain't spilling out. Now I get over here, and I notice the clutch is starting to feel funny on my finger. I'm like, what is going on with this clutch? Yeah, right here. I'm like, what? Clutch is gone. I'm pulling the clutch. She's just going. Like, what is going on here? Now look down. Look at this clutch cable here.
Oh, shit.
That's not a cable, it's a hydraulic line. She rubbed through. She melted through on the exhaust pipe there. And I have lost all my fluid. So my clutch is out. And the gears in my head are like, how am I going to get out of here? Trixie, she's never left me stranded yet, so she better not start now. She's been a good girl this whole time. No, that isn't what the fluid was. I did lose the clutch fluid, so some of that, yeah, some of that is the clutch fluid, but the other is from that little copper washer that goes onto that chain tensioner. All right, so I'm at the top here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in neutral and just going down. It feels weird not having the clutch, especially for the steep stuff. Usually your engine off, using that clutch as a rear brake, and now you're just using your rear brake as a rear brake. You know? It's just a weird feeling having no clutch. No engine braking. Especially on a big four-stroke, that engine braking, you rely on it quite a bit. Sorry, folks, for the sniffing. I got a runny nose right now. I'm just keep sniveling, you know. I'm trying to suck up that. I need to just shoot it out instead of coming in. All right, we're making our way back. This actually wasn't as bad as what I initially thought. You know, whenever you got bike trouble, you're instantly like, oh crap, you know, what am I gonna do? But just stay calm. Usually there's a way to get out, no problem. So just got back to the main run over here. She's in neutral, Sandy, so I'm able to just pop her into gear here. And I'm like, all right, don't do anything, no hard lines, just go back to base. So that's what we do. We're gonna make our way back to camp and call it a day. Pretty good ride though. We made that big peak. Been wanting to do that one for a while. We put the cash can up there, y'all. If you got guys come out to Spangler, the tallest peak there's a hidden can up there. It's got some little prizes for you.
No clutch.
No clutch. Yeah, it feels so weird without a clutch. Especially when you're used to doing it, you know, feathering the clutch so much on the hard stuff. But, you know, just out in the flowy stuff, you really don't need a clutch.
It's a weird feeling having no clutch.
It is. It's a weird feeling. Even just knowing I have no clutch. Like if I can't flame out. If I had to flame out at the bottom of this hill right here, like how would I start the bike? It'd be really hard, I think, to get the bike out if I was at the bottom of the saddle right there and she flamed out. Anyways, folks, made it on back. We're gonna bring this video to an end. Got another day of riding out here with some really hard peaks. I did some really hard, just enduro rocky stuff, and a little bit of searching for other peaks that possible cash can places, and that'll come out pretty soon. It won't wait too long. Till then, get out, ride, and get some.